Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. You're watching Original Art Hour, episode number 35, featuring my buddy Chris. I got issues 2319. If you're watching this live, please hit the thumbs up button. I do appreciate it. And if you could subscribe to the channel, if you're not already subscribed, that would be awesome. And if you're watching on the rewind, please do the same thing and leave a comment. Let us know what you thought of the show. Of course, this is Original Art Hour, the show where we sit down with other original comic art collectors, share some art from their collections, tell a few stories, and talk about the art side of the comic book collecting hobby. So I'm gonna get right into it and bring in my guest, Chris, at got issues 2319. I think I got that one. I'm good.
Yeah, it's a mouthful.
It rolls right off the tongue. Yeah. Well, dude, episode 35, a milestone, quote unquote. I'm glad to finally get you on here. I think I've been talking to you about it for like a year or something, maybe.
Yeah, it's been a while. I was just trying to put together like a better portfolio before
Yeah, you felt the heat. You're like, I need to get ready for the OA hour. I need to bring my A game.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, dude, look, you may or may not have needed to do that. Like I would have been happy to have you on a year ago when you only had maybe 10 pieces or something, or however many you did. But I'm glad you're on now, and you're going to join the OA Hour crew. So welcome, and glad to have you. And I'm excited to show all 35 pieces that you sent me. So we're going to have to go. We're going to have to have it. Yeah, we're going to have to have a lively pace here. So
30 seconds per slide.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that'll be more on you than me. I don't know if that's really possible, but we'll see. But if anybody out there is not familiar with Panda, which is only a reference like 5 people get now, he's pretty much an IGer, an Instagrammer extraordinaire. So the link to his Instagram is in the description below. Not so much a YouTuber these days, but you've been on my channel before for the whole Terrificon adventure that we had. But you make some appearances. I've seen you on some other channels. So
I like to pop in.
Yeah.
It's nice. There's no like pressure to be consistent with a schedule. So I like that.
I have a channel and I don't have any pressure to stay consistent at all, so it's fine. All right, well, before we get into it, which we will super quickly, let's do a little chat roll call here. We got Unreleased Simeon, what's up? We got Hoarder's Hide, we got Magic Lasso, we got Andy E, we got Just a Little Podcast here, we've got Comics for Blame. 35. He could barely get through 25. We got Raul in here. We got Geeks and Drinks. What is up, Geeks? And I think we're caught up for now, but of course we will say hello to. We got Larry Wilson. What's up, Larry? I am sporting my NYCC 2021 custom lanyard badges. I got the hat and everything, the one that says New York motherfucking Comic-Con on it. So I'm ready to go for both this show and NYCC. I'm in a good mood. Let's do this. So Chris, how'd you get into OA? And don't blame me. Just
no. Well, you know what? It's half your fault. I just love original art, and I started, and you'll see when we show the pieces, I started with just commissions. And kind of sketch covers were my thing. I saw a lot of other people with them, and I thought it was a great way to sort of branch out and get some small pieces from artists that I liked or up-and-coming artists. And then that branched into interior art because of you. I started watching, Original Art Hour and talking to you about original art and kind of picking your brain to learn more about, what was good, what was bad. And it got me into it, and now I'm sort of like a junkie.
Okay, so partial blame on me then, a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the most expensive part is your fault. So
shit, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for myself too, but I also love it.
Yeah, no, I'm not complaining. It's great, and you know what? As much as I love the comic books themselves, something about owning original art and original art pages specifically is just, it's an awesome feeling, and it feels like such an accomplishment just to get a page, no matter how big or small it is.
Totally. I couldn't agree with that statement more, man. What's up? Another Simon here, Mad Spidey, all the way from down under. I don't know what time it is there, but I appreciate the time you're taking to tune in, man. I appreciate that. All right. Well, do you want to get right into the pieces? I think that was one of the best concise sort of reasonings I've ever heard on the show. And I think we've got enough art to show here that will definitely last us an hour or so.
Yeah, for sure.
As well. Yeah, more people just blaming me here in the chat. This is all I get.
If the shoe fits.
Poor Mike here. Poor Mike in the house. All right, good to see everybody. Appreciate you guys turning out for Chris's episode. Should I start with the pieces and the slides? Let's do it.
Let's get it rolling.
That's what people show up for here. So this is the first slide and first piece.
So I posted this one actually just today on my Instagram, but this is a really cool piece from Aaron Conley. He did a bunch of horror themed stuff last year for Inktober, which obviously everyone knows is, guys do a lot of just ink based work for the month of October. And so he did basically everything was horror related. And so this Freddy piece was the one that I picked up, which is really cool. And I got this through Felix Comic Art, who was Aaron's rep.
Nice, dude. Yeah. I like that. I don't know. I like the perspective in that. Yeah, Magic Lasso just took the words right out of my mouth. Right.
Yeah, it's beautiful. He did such a good job. I mean, he's just a super talented artist. I don't think he gets enough credit for the work that he does. But, if anyone wants to see more of his stuff, if you go to Felix
yeah, you know what? I need to give his artist page on Felix's site a second look, because, Felix has repped so many great artists, and every time I'm on his site, there's just a lot of different things on there to, a lot of artists.
Felix's site is overwhelming because there's so much material.
Yeah.
It's probably one of the most overwhelming, rep sites that exists.
I would agree with that. It's also a little overwhelming how much of it sells before I have the chance to buy any of it, though.
Oh, yeah. The speed that you need to get a Felix piece sometimes is
we got Jeffrey Comic-Con here in the house. What's up, Jeffrey?
What's up, Jeff?
Good to see you, buddy. All right, so great first piece, Aaron Connolly, Freddy Krueger, certainly a unique one. We're entering Halloween time here.
Yeah, perfect.
We're getting there. So, all right, here's your second one.
So this is cool. I got this last year at C2E2.
Right when the Hulk guy enters the chat, too. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, perfect timing. This is from an artist named Ty Cannon. He's more of an independent artist. And to be honest, I didn't know anything about him until C2E2. I was kind of scoping out the tables, trying to figure out who I wanted to draw something for me. And I just really liked the stuff he did. And I gave him a choice of 4 different covers. And he was like, I want to do Hulk. I will crush a Hulk. And I think he absolutely crushed it.
Yeah, no, it's badass. Kind of drew. I like the way I like the way he draws the hair also.
Yeah, he's got a cool. It's very hipster.
Yeah. Very cool. Anything else you want to say about this one, or should we just move on? I know you kind of wanted to do the sketch covers quicker because we're gonna keep the pace going. Yeah, let's keep it going because 35 pieces here.
So. Yeah. Here's another cover from C2E2. This is by Seth DeMoose. I really like his style. I found out about him because he wrote this cool indie comic called Floppy Cop. If anyone's heard of it, it's pretty cool. It's kind of funny. And so I kind of sought him out at the con specifically because I wanted him to do a piece. And Guardians of the Galaxy is my top 3 as far as favorite comic-related stuff. Star-Lord is
definitely, I've noticed.
So I knew that I wanted to get something cool with Star-Lord and Rocket. And, I think he just did a really good job. So, yeah.
Do you like getting the, I guess, what you would call the back covers done as well on sketch covers, like the wraparound thing, just generally speaking?
It just depends, to be honest. I don't slab any of them, so if the back cover looks good, he just kind of made it a continuation of the space thing. So the cover looks great if it's closed. It doesn't look like you should expect there to
Do
be
you
a back.
do you use like the clear boards or anything like that so you can see the back without taking it out, or?
So the couple like open covers that I have, I frame them like that flat.
Oh, you frame them like that. Okay, yeah, I've seen that done too. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why I don't mind, because I'm not looking at it from like a graded viewpoint. I'm looking at it from
Right.
like art viewpoint. So I don't mind that it's like, you know, flattened a bit. Just displays nicely.
Nice. I like that. All right, number 4.
This is one of my favorites, man. You know, Mitch Gerrits is, you know, an artist I really, really enjoy. Anyone who knows me knows that the Mr. Miracle run that he did with Tom King is probably like one of my favorite comic book series of all time. And Mitch works primarily in digital, so it's really hard to get original art from him. So being able to grab this one, and it's Agent Venom, in case you can't tell, which is
also why I guess I hear that he always gets pretty much slammed at like the shows and conventions and with the requests and stuff. Yeah.
And you know what? To be honest, though, he works slow physically.
Yeah.
And so when they always do a pre-sale list for him for shows. He never takes anything at the show. He's always supposed to do it in advance to bring to the show, and he always shows up to the show without half the stuff that he was supposed to have done. So he's just kind of like a perpetual procrastinator. So, you know, I probably will never get another piece from him, but it's nice to have this one, and I really dig it. I really like how it came out.
What's up, Sam Rojas? He says, yeah, the recent release of the Strange Adventures art was monoprints.
Yeah, and I looked into that, and we'll talk a little bit about monoprint later, but it was just
right. You did a little experimenting with that, I know, but I think it wasn't necessarily for you ultimately, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a cool kind of. We'll talk about it when we get to those pieces.
Yeah. Okay. Number 5, the Null.
Yeah, this is cool. It's a Null piece. The artist is Chris Johnson. He does a lot of indie stuff, again, not a lot of mainstream stuff. He's a West Coast guy. So I actually got this as a gift from a friend of mine who lives in California. He did a signing event at Brave New World Comics, which is out in LA. And he was able to grab this for me. And I really like it. You know, I really enjoyed the Null character. And Silver Surfer Black is just a phenomenal miniseries. So
it's a fantastic series that I still cry about that I don't have any Trad Moore artwork from it. But
I would kill for like a Trad Moore napkin scribble. So
a Trad Moore, not even pencil. I'll take a pen doodle on a bar napkin from Trad.
Yeah, me too.
But that's a super cool Null. I love that one. Moving on to this one.
Yeah, so in case you guys don't know, Thunderbolts, another one of my favorite series because it has some of my favorite characters in it. Punisher, Ghost Rider at one point joined the team. Deadpool's in there. Elektra's in there. Agent Venom's in there. You really can't go wrong. So this piece is by Alexis Zarit. He's kind of like a unique artist in that he uses a lot of, like, as you can see, bright colors. He colors with like highlighters and stuff when he does these kinds of pieces. He's probably best known for, he did a comic book called Space Riders.
Doesn't Inky Knuckles represent him? Cam?
Inky Knuckles does represent him. Yeah, so if you want any pieces or commissions by him, you would go through Cam at Inky Knuckles.
Yep.
I was able to get this at a show live from him. He went to a local comic shop for me, the big comic shop, biggest one in New Jersey, Zap Comics. Mm-hmm. They do a show every year called ZapCon, and they were able to book him 2 years ago before the pandemic, and I was able to get on his list at that show, and he did this cool little take on the Thunderbolts characters for me.
Awesome, dude. All right, we got a big hand on this one.
Yeah. So this is another one I got at C2E2. So Adam Gorham did this. He's kind of a new name, but he's done some cool stuff. At the time that he did this for me, he was working on some issues of Savage Avengers, and just most recently, he's the artist for the indie book The Blue Flame, which a lot of people have talked about and thought was really cool. And I wanted him to do another Silver Surfer Black cover. And so he did this, and the way he colored it I think is just so beautiful. And if you read the book, through to issue 5, when he makes that transition, you'll know that the colors are just like a huge aspect of that Silver Surfer black character. It's not just like a black Silver Surfer.
Yep.
The accent is really what makes it. And I think he did like a really awesome job on this cover for me. And once again, this is like real quick, just when I go to shows and I talk to artists, I always take a bunch of blank covers that I like with me, and I usually give like 3 or 4 of them to the artist, and I kind of ask them like, what do you want to do? Because I just find that you get the best work when you allow the artist to be artists. I think if you walk up to a table and say like, I want you to draw Hulk like flexing his bicep, and the guy doesn't like Hulk and he doesn't want to do what you asked him to do, and I kind of feel like sometimes you get like rushed, like half-assed stuff. I think if you tell somebody who do you want to do and do whatever you want, I think you come away with like the best stuff.
Certainly approach that I think works out more often than not. Which number was that? 7?
Yeah. I have no clue.
Sorry. Yeah, wait. Yeah, that's the next one.
So this is a cool one. It's this is like, I guess you would call him like a sort of a street graffiti artist. He goes by Feast. His name is Frank Montano. He does a lot of like spray paint stuff. He does a lot of cool like mini vinyl figurines. And his brother is a good friend of mine from the community. And I asked him, I said, yo, I really love your brother's style. Could he do sort of like a cosmic-y Ghost Rider, Punisher version in his style? And this is what he came up with. And I just think it's really cool. It's really like unique piece of, like street art.
Yeah, no, it is cool. Like when you sent it to me, I was like, at first I was kind of struggling to grasp what it was. And then I took I guess a zoomed out view of it. And I was like, oh, it's Punisher, Yeah. And then I could kind of appreciate it more on the zoom up. Although in the zoom in shot, there's not much else I could have zoomed in on, I guess,
Yeah.
It's a good, full figure while also being a completely unique style into its own. So we had the Jackson Roykirk show up. What's up, Jackson Roykirk's in the house. We had Sam Am Comics. Poor Mike's asking, is there an average price for blanks? I mean, that would be very artist specific. I mean, it's hard to just say average like across the board, because I think prices just vary too much based on who the artist is, like, and
it's also so specific to what you ask for. It's like
totally
$75 for like a head, and then like $150 for a bust, and then like $300 for like the full character. I mean, it's so like, there's 10 tiers for each artist, and there's 100
right
artists.
And certain ones will charge more for colors, certain artists won't even do the colors, and they'll have a coloring partner. Like I've done convention sketches on blanks before where it's someone else did the coloring and whatnot. So it definitely varies. What's up? We got Justin Nemesis Prime. What's going on? Good to see you, bro. Thanks for popping in here. We got Ruben the Collector. No worries. Hope you had a good dinner. Okay, so we are on where are we at? We are on piece number 9, but we got a lot of pieces to get through tonight. 35 pieces. So piece number 9.
We're chucking though.
No, this is good pace. This is good pace. I'm liking it.
This is the same artist as the last run. This is his character that he puts on everything. Blizzard Beast is the name of the character, and he makes figures of Blizzard Beast. And sorry, 1 second.
Oh, you have a figure?
I have a different thing that he did after you're done with this, but Blizzard Beast is his character. So he threw this in just with the piece that I got because it's one of his, original character creations.
Cool. Did you want to show the?
Yeah, and then I just have, he does sometimes these. Like I said, he's a street artist, so he did the Blizzard Beast on a Montana spray can that he does when he does like limited drops. So this is number 8 out of 10.
That's cool.
To score this when he did one of his drops. So, and it's it's cans that he actually uses to create his graffiti and his art, and then he repurposes into these, and so it's a cool little collectible.
Awesome. Yeah, I've never seen a spray paint can remark as like a limited edition collectible. That's super cool. That's innovative. We got more folks rolling in here. We got Carlos Mo. What's going on, Carlos Mo? We got Kenny, Comic Kid 84. What's up, guys? Appreciate you popping in here for Chris's episode. We are on piece number 10.
10?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Okay, so this is published OA, or is this the monoprint? I don't remember.
It's a monoprint. So we were just talking about that. For those of you who are not familiar, so many artists now work solely in digital. And so when you're doing digital, there's not really original art to sell. There's no pencil, there's no blue line, there's no inks, nothing. So what they've reverted to doing is they do one-off prints. So you could call it an artist proof, a monotype, a monoprint, and basically it's a high quality print of the digital image. It's a one of one. It's usually signed by the artist. And so I kind of wanted to experiment a little bit to see if I like them. The prices are a little more affordable than original art simply because they are still prints, but it's still a one of one. Like nobody else out there is going to get this. And if you're not familiar, this page is from Nightwing. This is the final page from issue 78, where you see the Flying Graysons thing and Melinda Zucco.
Who was the artist again?
Bruno Redondo, who's the current interior and cover artist for Nightwing. So yeah, that's a recent acquisition.
Cool. And was there another example of a monoprint in here, or is
there is? I don't know what number it is.
Okay, yeah. I mean, you could just call it out when we get to it, because I wanted to also, I guess, not just instead of showing them, but then also kind of see where your head's at about them now after you've actually gotten a couple, Yeah,
I mean, to be honest, I'm not against them. I think that they're interesting. But I think in the future, if I get one, it will be isolated to a specific page or artist that I really like, that I know there's no other opportunity to get other art.
Like they just don't work traditionally at all.
Yeah, so Rafael Albuquerque is an artist who I really love. And he worked in a physical medium for a long time. So there's lots of physical art from him out there. But then because of COVID and him living overseas, he kind of switched over to digital last year to make it easier for him to get his work back and forth to publishers. And so anything newer of his since 2020 is all digital. Yeah. So if there was a Rafael Albuquerque page out there, I would go for an original over a monoprint because I have that option. But certain artists, like we just talked about with Mitch does zero physical interior work. If I ever want to have OA from Mitch, I'm going to have to at some point bite the bullet and get a monoprint. So,
Yep. Makes sense. Okay. So moving on, this is piece 11. This is traditional OA, right?
Yeah.
Well, so this traditional, but also different a little.
Yeah. So Joshua Cassara is the artist. He most recently was doing the covers and interior artwork for X-Force, if anyone was reading that. But he did one of the stories in Wolverine, Black, White, and Blood, which for those of you who are not familiar, the only colors they use are black, white, and red. Yep. And so, I was able to grab 2 pages from his story. And what's cool is he wasn't the colorer on the issues. He only did the pencils and the inks. But when I reached out to him to get the pages, he offered to me that he would color them slightly different than the interior art, but he would color them the way that he intended to, with the red used in certain accent places. And so this is what he gave me, and I think it's awesome.
I honestly, I like just looking at these Black, White, and Blood or Red or whatever you want to call them books just for the art sake alone, because I find it so interesting, like the different choices that the artists on these books make on how to use the blood or how to use the red, Yeah,
it's very cool.
It's super fun. It's super fun to see these pages, and I've seen some more from other books, like get out there. And it's I don't know. I find it really cool to have that third color palette on a otherwise traditional piece. Traditional meaning just black and white. Not because it is real art. It's not digital art.
Right.
Okay, this is another Josh Cassara.
It's just it's a patch. So if you switch back to the last page, there's an image similar to that.
Oh yeah, on the bottom left.
For whatever reason, they wanted it to look slightly different. I don't know why. So he created this. It's known as a patch. They'll cut it and put it over the old slot. He asked me if I wanted him to cut it and put it over. And I said, no, I'll take the original and then I'll take the patch on its own separate sheet, the way it was, done. And I'll keep it like that. Mostly because it just gives me like another page of art,
Yeah, no, that's really cool. I would want it on the standalone page too, if given the option. That's really cool. All right. So those two, that's like a 2-in-1 basically, because that was overlaid on top of the other one for the final publishment.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. This is the other red example that you sent.
Yeah, so it's the same issue. It's just two different pages. I was able to speak to him and kind of work out a number for 2 pages just because I love the story so much. And yeah, this is the second piece I was able to grab. If you didn't read it, it's a really great story, but I just think he really, really killed the artwork. And this is actually, these 2 pages are actually the very first 2 pages of interior art I ever purchased. So these are what actually got me.
These broke your cherry, and they had a cherry red blood color on it.
Yeah, so these 2 are the gateway drug into the pit of despair.
I remember. Yeah, I think I do distinctly remember you telling me when you got these and like kind of giving me a little shit that I got you into this. But,
for sure.
Yeah. All right. This is the cool Wolvie. Also here, a bust. This is personalized.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
I wear a head. I don't know. I mean, he just threw this in. My name is Chris, in case anyone didn't know that. But he just threw this in along with the pieces as like a thank you, and I just thought it was cool to include it because it's just a fun Wolverine piece.
I like the Kenny's asking a question. So this is what the page looks like in the book. No additional color. That's my understanding, right?
Yeah. If you want to switch over to me.
Yeah, hold on.
I have the piece right here.
So he's talking about this piece, I'm assuming, but yeah.
Well, I mean, they're the same thing. So.
Oh yeah, you have you brought the pages, yeah.
Yeah. So this is exactly how it appears inside the comic book. There's no additional colors of any kind. It's just what you see.
Yeah, those are cool as hell. All right, so this was a bonus thank you piece.
Yeah, that was just a cool little throw in.
Nice. All right, talk about this one.
So this is cool. This is from a recent indie book from Dark Horse called Fear Case. It was a cool little 4-issue miniseries that they did, and I really enjoyed it. And Tyler Jenkins was the artist, and his style is very unique. I like him a lot. And his wife, Hillary, is his colorist, and so she paints everything. So it's a painted page that was inside the book, and it's pretty cool. Pretty cool piece.
I'm not sure if he's talking about this or, well, he's saying those, so I'm assuming he's talking about the black, red, and blue. Those are 11 by 17 standard comic boards.
Yeah, those are 11 by 17.
They're just standard comic art board size for modern.
Yeah, I mean, this piece is a little smaller.
Which one?
The piece you're looking at right now is a little bit smaller.
Not the Cassara, this one.
Well, yeah, like you said, the Cassara is 11 by 17, but this one is slightly smaller than that.
Right.
Different artists work with different page sizes. I mean, 11 by 17 seems to be kind of the norm, but
some work smaller, some work a lot smaller. Some work double the size or whatever. Yeah. Like Paul Pope does 19 by 24 or whatever.
I have one I'll show when we get to it. incredibly smaller. It's like half the size of 11 by 7. It's almost the size of like the printed page, which is insane. But you know,
okay, well, this one's cool.
This is the page that I'm talking about. If you want to switch over to me real quick.
Oh yeah, hold on.
So the Tyler Jenkins page is smaller than the Wolverine page, and this is the page.
Yeah, that's a lot smaller.
Now. So it's a huge size difference.
But it's a cool page. I love that page.
Yeah, this is from Avengers 29. So it's cool because it's like unique character designs, right? You have Silver Surfer Black. That's Blade, but if you're familiar with the comic, he's wearing armor made out of Man Boy, which is
so
like
this is the Jason Aaron Avengers run.
No, the current one, yeah,
the current one, yeah.
And the pencils are by Ed McGuinness, and then the inks are over top by Mark Morales.
Yeah, great combination on our.
Yeah, they're a great squad, and so you got Blade, Black Widow, and Silver Surfer. So just a cool, and I love the Surfer part of it, holding the board.
Totally.
I just think really badass. So I was pretty pumped to grab this page.
Yeah, no, that's a gem right there. So, regardless of the size or size difference, it's a high impact page.
I just recently acquired another Ed McGuinness page also, but it's not here yet, so it didn't make the cut for the show. But I'm a big fan of his art. So
thank you, Larry. I'm going to give all the credit to Chris here for describing his artwork quick and concise, but we do try to please here with the pace. It's Original Art Hour, and we try to get that hour mark, but not always not always right on time. But it does kind of look like he's about to shred it like a guitar.
Yeah,
yeah, totally. All right, number 17, your fave, Mr. Miracle.
Yeah, so Mr. Miracle for sure, one of my favorite characters. I got this as a pre-commission for C2E2, so it was ready for me when I got there. But this is by Rod Rice, who's super talented. This is like a watercolor piece, so it's just so cool. It looks even more beautiful in person, and I think he really knocked it out of the park. And he's such a gentleman. He's so cool, and a lot of his original art, he works. He paints stuff, so it's hard.
I love watercolor pieces, man. I just have a soft spot for them, really.
Yeah, they're just so cool. You know what I like about watercolors? They remind me of being a kid, man.
Yeah, exactly. No, because I like the messiness in it, if you will. You know what I mean? Like it's not, don't get me wrong. I love like pencil and ink OA, like super tight artwork, but there's something about the looseness of a watercolor painting or a watercolor sketch, a watercolor convention piece or whatever it may be
because you don't get caught up looking at where it doesn't meet the line.
Yeah, exactly. You just can't. It's like you get like the piece hits you all at once for what it is, as opposed to like all the little minute details, in the other styles that I appreciate just in other ways, I guess. But yeah, I love this piece, man. Very nice. Yeah, and I love that run, that original Kirby run, and I just as much dig the new, Tom King and Mitch Gerard's run. Is that book coming back, or that character coming back anytime soon with a run? Do you know?
I don't think so, man. I think it was kind of like a one-off. I think he kind of exists in his own sort of continuity bubble, and which I think I'm okay with, to be honest. I think sometimes, if something's really good. And,
because it could get, no pun intended, watered down, a little bit. But yeah. All right, next piece.
This is an Old Man Logan piece by an artist named Drew Moss. I got this as a gift, actually, last Christmas from a good friend of mine. And I just like the way that he draws. I like his inks, and he's very like crisp, and I like it. I think
you're Epic Man.
If I didn't tell you it was Old Man Logan, I think some people might not know, but for me, it's
I recognized it as Old Man Logan immediately, but I also am too in the know about it to,
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and this is one of two pieces I have by him. So I think the next one is by him also.
Okay, next one by same artist. Let's see.
I think.
This Ghost Rider?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is also by Drew Moss. Because I liked that one that I got as a gift so much, I commissioned him to draw another piece. And Robbie Reyes is my personal favorite Ghost Rider. I love the design too of his skull. And I think if you do it right, it looks so badass. And I think he did it right. And I think the colors and everything really make it pop. You know, I love the way he did like the gums and the teeth. It's very like
no, I dig it. I dig it. I had to go closer in on the. I mean, on the skull. Yeah, just have to. You know.
Yeah. So beautiful, and he's he's mostly an indie artist, but he's really cool. If you find him, Drew Moss on Instagram, he's super cool dude, super down to earth. I would definitely say hit him up if you like his art because he's so cool. He works fast and he's really reasonable. So, yeah, it's got that same vibe. It's very good. It's just very good.
Yeah, I mean the teeth, especially like, or just the jaw, if you can even call that a jaw. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very cool. All right, another one of your favorite characters.
So this one I threw in. It's just fun. Star-Lord's my favorite character. If you guys are part of the community, you know, like I'm part of a little bit of like a comic club, and one of the guys in the club, Necro God Comics, is his name for the comic community. Mm-hmm. But he goes also by Grim Cowboy, which he's a tattoo artist in LA. He owns a tattoo studio there. He's super talented, and obviously I have a lot of tattoos. I really love Americana tattoos and that style. And so as a gift, he did a sort of Americana style Star-Lord for me and sent it to me awesome. as a thank you for some books and stuff that I sent him. And I really dig it. I might actually get it tattooed onto my body. So we'll see.
It's a bit of a Sailor Jerry vibe. Definitely.
For sure, which is what he was going for and what I love and very cool. So yeah, I think if I make a trip out to
LA, a lot of I'll take the thing off screen for a second. There's a lot of tattoo artists in our community I've noticed that are pretty talented, like 36 Chambers, H, Necro God. Like these guys are pretty skilled, and like the pieces I've gotten from H have all blown me away, whether I chose to buy it from him or he just surprised me with a art A-OK. Like I've always been super impressed every time with these tattoo artist guys.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is a pencil piece, a prelim, I believe.
Yeah, this is a prelim. So in case anyone doesn't know what that is, it's just all these artists, they do sort of layout sketches of things that they want to use for illustration, specifically covers. I'm a huge J. Scott Campbell fan. I have been for like almost as long as I'm reading comics. If you didn't fall in love with the way he drew girls in that time, that era when I was growing up, then you're out of your mind.
Yeah, but, Danger Girl stuff.
Because he's J. Scott Campbell, he's incredibly expensive to buy original art from.
Yes, indeed.
Very difficult to get a piece from him unless you have super deep pockets. And so I was lucky enough to be able to reach out and score a prelim page. And so even though this is as close as I'll get, I'll still count it. And it's really cool. The left side are two prelims that he ended up using close to the bottom one to do a cover for Fantastic Four, obviously. And then the right side, he was doing sketches for a J. Scott Campbell exclusive cover he did for Spider-Man that featured the Red Goblin. So that's this piece.
No, I like this prelim a lot because you've got like 3 characters, 4 characters, then solo, work. It's a good study, that should just showcases his process. And you get his instantly recognizable signature on there as well, which is not a cheap signature unto itself, just the signature. These days. And I know what you mean about the prelims and of artists that, sort of have gotten out of reach for, your budget or whatever. Like I have an Alex Ross prelim, for example. I have a Frank Miller prelim, for example, like these are artists that are kind of getting out of reach, at the published levels, So I do appreciate prelim work. What's up, Biggie Shack in the house? New World Order Comics, Biggie. What's going on? It's not would I instantly go after a prelim over public? Obviously not. But budgets are budgets, and the
yeah. Listen, if I could have an interior piece by J. Scott, I would love to. But this cost me about like 1/20th of what an interior piece would cost.
Well, so, and specifically with him, there isn't much interior to speak of anymore. It's almost all covers.
Right. Yeah. And they're crazy. Like when I bought this piece and I was able to grab it, one of the other pieces that they dropped on the site at the same time was like an exclusive cover he did for a Punchline or Joker book that featured the two of them on it. And it was like $13,000 for the cover. So I was like, I think this prelim works for me.
Yeah. I think I'll go to the prelim on that. Yeah. I hear you. But a lot of the guys in the chat are making good points and have similar kind of, thoughts on some of the prelims. I like that one a lot, actually. And I don't have a J. Scott Campbell example, period. So, and I dig his artwork. So, all right. Let me see. What was that? That was 21. Okay. So this is 22.
So this piece I just got recently. I picked this one up at Terrificon when I was there with you.
That's right.
This is by Sean Crystal. He goes by Ink Pulp is his art name that he goes by on Instagram. He's done a bunch of mainstream comic books and stuff, but I've always liked his style. He does really, really strong inking.
I mean, how about that Lockjaw, dude? I mean, that's
and cool. I have it buried in the closet right now, but the scope of this piece you can't tell from this picture.
It's massive. It's huge.
It's by 20. It's enormous. It's like a poster. So it's so cool. I was so pumped to get it. It was literally like my reason for going to Terrificon. So
I thought your reason to go to Terrificon was spending quality time with me and hanging out. No,
that's what I meant.
That's what you meant. Sure.
Was going with you, and then the icing on top of the cake was.
I know the truth. I know.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, that's what you meant. No, but this was an awesome piece. What's up, Tony NY Jr. in the house? My co-host on OA Hour Beyond. Welcome to the chat. Thanks, brother. But yeah, I remember when you picked this up from the artist at his table right there. I was there, and I instantly was impressed by the piece and thought it was super cool. And I was super surprised at how massively large it was. And yeah, you've seen this before, Raul, because I think you showed it on the there it is, the Terrificon recap show.
Yes, I did. I showed it on the recap show for Terrificon.
That is right. Which for whatever reason, that video on my channel did so well. I guess it's because it was related to a convention hall videos. They seem to do well. Like that one had 300 something views on it.
Yeah.
Or people just come out when you're on my channel for some reason. That's
I don't think that's true. I think
you're underestimating yourself.
I think people wanted to see what you picked up at the con because
probably and I probably disappointed because I didn't really go all out at that one. But what do you?
I think you walked away with a pretty decent haul from that show.
It was decent. I've had better. A little bit of Adam Kubert with the Lockjaw. I can see that. Okay. What number was that? I'm trying to, because there's so many slides here. That was
21.
Right? No, that was 22. This is 22, right? Yeah, they're 23.
So this is the same artist, Sean Crystal, Ink Pulp. This is an interior page from the Scarlet Witch series that they did. From issue 14, features the Scarlet Witch, and Agatha Harkness is on here. And it's a cool page, man, that I was able to grab. And like I said, I like his artwork, and I wanted to be able to grab an interior piece. And if you didn't read it, that Scarlet Witch series was pretty solid as well.
When did that come out? Did that come out in the lead up to WandaVision?
No, this is a few years ago.
A few years ago? Okay.
Yeah, a few years ago. So it's a little bit older, but yeah, just a cool piece. And if you like his style and you're looking for art, he's repped by what I think is another one of the best reps out there, which is Essential Sequential.
Oh yeah, Jason Schechter.
Yeah, Jason Sequence Art. So many great artists that he reps too, and Sean is one of them.
Definitely.
They're East Coast. They're local for us, and just such a good rep. And they have so much cool work.
I like, I'm a fan of non-traditional panel layouts like this.
Yeah.
reminds me of like Diodato a little bit in that, like in some of the stuff he did in the late 90s and stuff on Elektra that I'm a big fan of. So this is kind of reminiscent of that to me.
Yeah, it's very cool.
I like it. All right. The next one here is this pencil one.
So this is another prelim. This is by Pasquale Ferry. When they did that whole run of like, you remember the Immortal wraparound variants that they did?
Yes. Yeah.
Where like every different issue was like a copy of that like Immortal Hulk wraparound where he was like transforming from Bruce Banner into the Hulk. Mm-hmm. And so Pasquale Ferry was responsible for doing the wraparound cover for the Moon Knight annual that came out during that month. And this is one of his pencil prelims, and I grabbed it super cheap. I really liked it. And the biggest reason why I like it is because it is 8,000 times better than the published cover, and I don't know what I'm thinking. So, yeah, I just really dig it. I like the Moon Knight character, and it's cool because it kind of touches on a lot of the different aspects of the character. So, yeah, that's it for that one.
Nice. Yeah. Moon Knight's got some fans in the community for sure. Sam probably being one of the biggest, and you probably being one of the biggest I know as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think people seem to be getting into the new series that just launched. So
I have not read any of it. I've seen the cover artwork and stuff, which has been great, but I have not read any of it. Personally.
Yeah, the interior artist for it is like really impressive.
Is it?
Andreas Capuccio or something like that. I'm probably massacring his name, but I think his art's really impressive. I've been really impressed. The story's good, but the art has been really, really cool. And I think with the show and stuff coming out, I think we're going to start seeing a lot more
that's right.
Night fans out there.
Yeah.
So it's going to grow. The following will grow.
All right. So this is another one
by Pasquale Ferry, but this is my other second example of a monoprint. Right. This is from Spider-Man Spider Shadow, that What If story by Chip Zdarsky. And this is a really cool scene where he gets angry and murders Kingpin. It's one of my favorite scenes. You can see in the one picture, it's like arms and pieces there of like Scorpion, because he basically is killing all the bad guys. Because the what if premise of the story is like if he had stayed with the Venom symbiote and it kind of like corrupted him a little bit. And so he becomes like, ultra strong and ultra violent. And yeah, so this was the first monoprint that I grabbed before the Bruno one. And it was my first foray. And, like I said, we already talked about it. I think I'll save it for like when I really, really want a piece and it's my only. But I am happy with it, and it's
right.
Cool.
You're a highly selective monoprint guy.
Yeah, I mean, if guys go out and spend like 30, 40, $50 on a print that's been printed 8,000 times, is it
or
so
even
bad?
150 times? I mean, that's 150 more times than one. So
yeah, so like I spent $100 to get a monoprint. Is that really that bad? Like, no, I mean, I don't think it's that bad.
No, I don't disagree. Okay, DWJ.
Yeah, so this is cool. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm a huge Daniel Warren Johnson fan. Anyone who knows me also knows that I've been trying to get on his commission list for like 4 years, and I strike out at every single show. I woke up early and got online for C2E2 like 3 hours early every day to try to be the first one to his table. And on day 3, I missed it by one person. So I was devastated.
Yeah.
But I was able to score. He's also repped by Felix, another one of the Felix guys.
Yep.
And this is from a cool book that he did. Not a lot of people know about. It's called Ghost Fleet.
Yep.
And it was written by Donny Cates. They did this with Dark Horse back before either one of them was really known for anything. And it's a cool page. It's from like his early days, and it's a really cool book. I mean, I know we're here talking about art, but if anyone wants to read it, you can get a trade of it for like $10, $11. It's called Ghost Fleet, and I just think it's really great. I would recommend people read that story and really appreciate the art.
I mean, I will echo the comment here from Sam Rojas. It's that any book that he's on, I'll like devour it. In the last couple years, I haven't read this one, so I would like to go back and check it out. Actually, especially now that you've shown artwork from it. But man, like Wonder Woman, Dead Earth, the Beta Ray Bill book, like man, like the artwork just blows me away, and all the commissions I've seen, that just all blows me away. It's just very, I don't know, innovative and different, and it just pops in a different way.
I think he's like on his own level, kind of got his own lane, and I don't think there's anyone stylistically in that range, totally. For me at least, and in my opinion.
I agree. Okay, this is a very recent pickup. I saw you buy this one, I think.
Yes, I just got this one at the art show that we just went to.
Yeah.
In Wayne, which is right by where I live. This is a page from Scooby Apocalypse. In case any of you are not familiar with that book, which I know a lot of you aren't, when DC did that whole run where they were doing like the Hanna-Barbera stuff, they did the super like adulty themed like Flintstones book that some of you may have seen, and they did a cool Scooby Apocalypse. It was sort of like Scooby meets The Walking Dead, where like every character had kind of a different backstory and the way they met up, and it's like a lot more violent and cool. And I really like that book, and I stumbled across this page in a folder at Anthony's Comic Art, and I was just like, I told you, I think like 3 times, I think I'm gonna go get that page. I think I'm gonna go back and get that page. I think I might grab that page.
If you say that sentence more than one time, you're getting the page.
Yeah. So by the third time, I just like found my way to the ATM, and I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Yep. Tony was there and remembers.
Yep.
It's a good one. All right. We're making good pace here. We got we're about 8 minutes away from the hour, and we still got about 7 pieces to get through, but we can do it.
Well, we're good.
We can go a little over time.
This is a Mike Henderson page. This is from Old Man Logan. Once again, I love Wolverine. He's been one of my favorite characters since I was a kid, since Jim Lee X-Men days. And but the Old Man Logan storyline is like my absolute favorite. I think it's my favorite, iteration of the character. I've loved every story they've put him in. I wish they could do more and they hadn't killed him off. But I was able to score this at the show that we were just at as well. Cool little.
They killed him off in Dead Man Logan, right?
Dead Man Logan, and the end of that 12-issue miniseries.
I like that mini, but I was also a little bit like bummed that like, okay, so this is it with this universe for Logan, or are they going to miraculously bring him back yet again somehow?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's like dead for real, but I think they could still tell stories. They would just have
to just retro, back in time within that universe, or
flashback types, which they actually are doing. To be honest, there's a new miniseries coming out, Wastelanders or something like that.
Okay,
going to focus on 4 of those characters. So Old Man Logan, Old Man Hawkeye, Old Man Quill, and then they're going to do, I guess, Old Lady Black Widow.
So Old Man Quill was my personal favorite. Like I like Old Man Logan and Hawkeye. I enjoy both of those. But for me personally, Old Man Quill was my personal favorite. And I have like 3 or 4 interiors from that run. I adore that run, and I adore those pages.
Well, we talked about that one of those pages is probably going to have to make its way over into my collection at some point.
Right. I know Unruly has kind of pestered me about those pages as well in the past, but I'll let you two guys fight. I agree with that. No one is dead in comics.
Except Uncle Ben.
Except Uncle Ben. Yeah. If I decide to part with any of those Old Man Quill pages, you guys will be the first to know.
We'll Rochambeau for it and see what happens.
That's right. All right. Speaking of awesome characters and old men, but not quite men here, we got Usagi here.
Yeah, so the next, Kenny, I think, asked if I was going to show any original Newligan stuff, and I think everything else we have left to show is all Newligan stuff.
Right, because like pretty much your favorite artist, right? Basically.
He's my favorite artist right now, man. I just really like his style, and I just think I love the way he draws, and that's really all it boils down to. If you're not familiar He's an artist from Sacramento. You know, he's done some independent books, and then he pretty much does his characters. He does print releases. He does these pack of smoke cards, which I post on Instagram every Sunday. And I got into him a few years ago through a friend that I made in the community.
And Sam sent me a Beastie Boys card that he did, like a new card. That was really cool.
He does so much stuff, like from movies to TV shows to comic books. He's very cool, very cool. So yeah, this is the first ever original piece I got from him, Usagi Yojimbo, which is one of my favorite characters because it was one of the first comic books I ever owned. That my mom got for me, and so very, very cool character, and I love the way that he did it. Sort of this older, weathered, scarred Usagi.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, and here's a Nooligan Miracle.
Yeah, so here's a Mr. Miracle I got from him at New York Comic Con a couple years ago. This is another example of the way that I do like the wraparound covers because he's able to draw like the full body sort of vertically on the cover and make it larger. And
right, larger vertical canvas. It's almost like a page, you know, the way that that's laid out.
Yeah, basically, which is, you know, cool. And yeah, so a really cool one. He's very unique. His style. He's another one of those artists where like you don't tell him what to do, you just tell him the character, and he kind of just like whatever he thinks is gonna like fit and be cool. And yeah, for sure, Lasso. Like it definitely. He gives that swag to his characters. His thing with his characters, if you do a full body one, is like everyone wears Chuck Taylors. That's just like the vibe that he gives to his characters. So super cool. So yeah, that's
like once you see a few of his pieces, it's pretty easy to recognize his style. Like when you see something later, like
and it's kind of hard to see in this image, but like he even has like texture and stuff. Like
I jumped the gun a little bit.
No, that's all right. You can see in the red, there's sort of like texture there, like hatching. He just does like a lot of stuff that's just sort of unique, and I really dig it. And then the next one is a sketch cover I got at C2E2, and this was his cool idea of Black Bolt sort of like yelling into a microphone.
Yeah,
Black Bolt's another one of my characters that I really dig. The strong silent type, which is not me, but still very cool. And
strong and literal silent type.
Yeah, literally. So yeah, another
that's
cool
a cool one.
So this is a piece I just got recently, and this is Fight Club, the narrator and Curtin, which was I was able to score like 2 commission slots from him, and I combined them so that he could do 2 characters in one piece. Because for those of you who aren't familiar, he's not one of those guys that you can just hit up and say, can you do a piece for me? He does like monthly or bi-monthly drops where there'll be like 1 or 2 commission slots, and everybody's fighting to try to be the first one to like check out with it in their cart. So it's
he's got a pretty dedicated audience. Like you obviously are a big voice out there in the community for him, but he's got several other like hardcore fans. So you're kind of
a lot more than you realize. Like his key base is rabid, and I don't have Facebook, but there's even like an invite only Facebook group that's comprised of like all these people that are like parts of his monthly membership or going after pieces, and it's very cool. Most of us get along, but it's still a competitive it's a competitive thing trying to get art from him.
I mean, that's how it is on OA, like in general, whether you're part of one artist community or a reps community or just the greater OA community at large, like you're fighting to get the stuff that you want,
for sure,
in timely manner when these things drop. This one's probably my favorite of the Nooligan set. I love this.
This is my favorite too, and it's my most recent piece. I mean, we talked about Robbie's my favorite Ghost Rider, so I just recently was able to ask him for this one, and it just came like not even a week and a half ago. So I just love it, and the colors are awesome with the flames. And once again, sometimes stuff is hard to tell, but they're sort of like shiny and glossy pieces to the flames that really make it pop if you're looking at it in person. And it's just really cool. I can't wait to frame this one up and put it on the wall.
Try leaving in Australia then if you want away. Sorry, Simon. Sam, it's all friendly until you want the same piece. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Dude, I love this Ghost Rider, though. I really do. Yeah, this one's cool.
Yeah, it's killer.
All right, 2 more. Home stretch here.
Home stretch, baby. So this is also Nuligan. This is from his independent comic he did. He created his own characters. The story is called Union Street Choir, and he made a whole bunch of, creator-owned type stuff.
Right, it's his own property.
Yeah, and this is I won this in a raffle, and I was able to wear this interior page. Sometimes when he does stuff around the holidays, he'll do raffles by like order numbers, and my order number got called for one of his show raffles, and this is the piece that I won. So that's really cool.
Nice.
Cool to have, because that's unique. Like he only did I think 3 issues of Union Street Choir, or maybe 4, and so I don't think there's a lot of OA of that floating around.
Very cool. And then the last piece, I believe, was in your background.
It is, yeah.
Yes.
So this is, believe it or not, so this is one of his original characters. His name is Smiles. There's another remark of him in the bottom right corner of the screen. This is a huge.
Right. I guess I should have zoomed in on that remark. I didn't realize.
Oh no, that's okay. This is like a huge canvas. It's like 28 by like 40. It's enormous.
Right, like it's very visible behind you there. Like you could see, how big it is. Yeah, it's huge.
That's the piece.
Yeah.
And believe it or not, I won this in a raffle also.
Oh damn.
He created 2 of these 2 partner pieces, and he used them for a art gallery show. And he had them sitting in storage. And last year around the holidays, he said that he wanted to do something with them. And so everyone who bought stuff from him during his, holiday event, same thing. He put the order numbers in and picked out a winner, and I won this piece. And it's awesome. It's one of my favorite pieces in my whole collection on this huge canvas. I reorganized an entire wall just to make room to be able to put it up.
Well, that's not where you normally put it, or that is where you normally put it? Like,
no, I wanted it to be visible.
You're just showcasing it on the background right now.
Over there,
it's on the wall.
On the wall.
Word. Well, dude, that was a 1 hour speed round that we just went through. I wasn't even around. It was like 45 minutes because we did a whole bunch of other talking.
Yeah, we just missed it. We're at like 103.
Yeah, 103. This is very, that's fine, man. I don't think we've ever shown that many pieces in such a, brisk pace type way. So I actually liked it.
Give me markers, and you tell me what to do, man. I'm gonna try my best to make it happen.
No, that was great. Anything you want to mention or plug? Like I was saying earlier, you're an Instagram guy primarily, so it's right on the screen here at I_got_issues2319. The link is in the description below. Too fast for Ruben. He likes to sit there and muse on each piece slowly.
Just rewatch it and then pause.
Yeah, rewatch it in 0.5 speed. And then it could be original art 3 hours.
Yeah. Or just hit me up and I'll send you pictures of everything, and you could just.
There you go. Yeah, just bother him on Instagram, Ruben.
Yeah.
Ruben's pretty new to Instagram though, so I don't know if he wants to do that. But dude, thank you again for sharing it. So yeah, anything you want to mention or plug? I mean, you obviously follow you on Instagram, and that's where.
Yeah, I mean, if you want, no harm, no foul. Right. If you want to follow me, I appreciate you having me on the show. Thank you. It's been.
No, I'm glad to finally get you on, and I'm more excited to have you be part of the group chat and be part of like the crew, the conversation or whatever that takes place beyond the show, which is really. Kind of the point of the show anyway for me in many ways. So Simon's, you're like the guy that it's in the crew that like I don't think we could ever schedule enough shows to cover all the pieces that this guy has. Like, this guy's like the commission monster right here in our crew here. So, you're welcome to come on again, Simon. Just let me know. But definitely thanks for sharing, brother. And we're looking forward to having you be, part of the chat and everybody. Hey, what's up, Jeff Wedding in the house? Watch the replay, man. I appreciate it. And hit the like button. Yeah, I never, I would like say that once an episode, but I don't remember to like sprinkle it in throughout as I'm doing these. Yeah, I suck at that stuff, honestly. Anyway, because that's what, I guess that's what you're supposed to say. Hit the like button, subscribe, all that. I do appreciate it. As far as, we're both going to be at NYCC, so if anybody out there is going to NYCC, let us know. I'll be there like 2 days, and you'll be there Thursday.
Just Thursday, but yeah. I'll be around, making the rounds.
NYCC, yeah, it'll be fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. And yeah, man, thanks again for being on the show. I don't really have anything specific to promote. I'm kind of chilling here for a second to let NYCC happen, and then I'll revisit things after that.
I'm sure you'll drop like 3 things right after the show to like show off your whole people that
I might be doing something next Friday with Jeff, who's in the chat right here, because he did an episode with me and Tony where we were talking about Star Wars animation art the whole time, and I was going to do an unboxing of some animation art, but the show was running long, 90 minutes or whatever, and we didn't really get around to that yet. So we're going to maybe do another separate show where I just unbox a bunch of animation art and hang out with Jeff a little bit. But
cool.
So we'll try to do that next Friday, but I'm not going to, it's not going to be original art hour or whatever. It's just going to be like, go live with no warning unboxing,
right.
kind of thing.
Perfect.
Yeah. So that's, exactly. It's time for Neighborhood Nick. So stick around for that if you guys want. Otherwise, we'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. I just have to find the clip.
Where do I begin? I see the hate, they don't want to see me win. Bank deposits, I got more coming in. Top down, throw the money in the wind. I don't want it all. Heard this game, I had to switch up the accounts. Moving paper, gotta call it my account. It's all in, I can have it coming out. Been through the struggle, I can see another drought. Yeah, it's not a purse, it's a merch. 6 figures was a goal, now it's 9 or a hearse. Put it work. Used to pull up, not swerve. No time for the snakes, time to put them in the dirt. That's word. I gotta get it, it's in my DNA. You only see the highlights, don't know what it takes. Last year stressing, got no sleep. Now I'm right between the courts, I don't know bleed.